Okay. For a lot of people, that speed factor is one of the biggest, most important things with these tunes. Like so many people have 100 tunes that they can play at 60 beats a minute, and they'd really like to be able to get it a little faster. So whatever way you guys want to work on these tunes, that's what we're going to do tonight. Okay. First of all, we'll warm up. I'm trying to remember the last couple of tunes we learned, which was in the key of D, I think. Yeah, we learned Spade and Spade, great tune. And then last week we reviewed and brought back to life Homeward Bound, I think. Two great tunes, both Sandy tunes, by the way. So why don't we start off by practicing the key of D? So we're going to play a D major scale in arpeggio, and maybe we'll do some other tricks in the key of D as well. Maybe a scale in thirds. Or maybe we could do the jig rhythm. And just warm up a little bit in the key of D. And then I think we should at least play those two tunes, the Homeward Bound and the Spade and Spade, and work them up a little bit. And then it's all request lunch hour. So anyway, so let's start off with our scale. Okay, nice and easy. I got my tuner on here to keep us honest. And we'll play a lovely scale in the key of D. I better check my fiddle. Let's play a D major scale starting on D, going all the way up to A and all the way down to A. Ready, go. How's everybody feeling about that? Did you have to do a whole lot of tuning? Not too bad? Let's go a little quicker then, if it was so good. A 1, 2, 3, go. Gotta do it again. I wasn't 100%. One more time. A 1, 2, 3, go. That time. How are you guys feeling? Did it go okay? The fast? Okay. Even faster. It's going to be like this. Okay. And you're just trying to go for a high batting average. Nobody's perfect. A 1, 2, 3, go. 2 notes. The first one was foolish. It was the G on the E string, and for some reason it was just sharp as a steak knife. And then down at the bottom, my C sharp was momentarily flat. I don't know if you noticed, but it was. It was momentarily flat. How did you guys do? I see a lot of this here. So let's go one more time. Same speed. A 1, 2, 3, go. Better. I got almost all of them that time. How about you guys? Better? That's good. That's the double-barreled shotgun approach. If you do stuff twice, it's usually better the second time around, okay? Because you notice what you got to do. Now let's try the arpeggio, nice and slow at first. Ready, slow. One more for the practice. Ready, go. Okay, now, arpeggio inversions. I don't know if I've mentioned that or if everybody has heard that term before, but arpeggio inversions are when you do the arpeggio and then you invert it. So now I'm going to play one with the D on the bottom. Now one with an F on the bottom. Now one with the A. Now one with the D. And then we come down the same way. Yeah, that's how it goes. Looks like everybody can do it. Okay, so let's do it for reals now. Arpeggio inversions, starting on the low A. Ready, 2, go. Pretty good. I had a couple of little flatties, tiny little flatties, so we're going to do it again. Everybody figure that out okay? Do you figure out the pattern? You know how to do it? Oh, that's great. Let's do it again right away. Same thing. Ready, go. Okay, everybody feeling good there with that? Good. Now I talked about jig rhythm a minute ago. And this exercise here is really good for practicing jig rhythm. It kind of ups the game. So the regular way, and I don't know if I mentioned this lately, but the jig rhythm exercise is to take a scale and do it in triplets. that? That's scale and triplets there. Really good way to work on your jig rhythm. It is a jig. Some people like it better than the tunes. It's a great way to do it, because the problem with working on your jig rhythm is not getting anything wrong with the tune. So try, remembering it or having little screw ups, because anything that stops your bow means that the groove practice is over, right? So you need something that you don't have to think about, that you can just do continually to get that rhythm, that sound going. So that's a really good way to do it. And so are the arpeggio inversions. Watch this. See that? It's kind of like doing it on steroids or whatever, And if you can get the hang of that with the arpeggio inversions, it's really going to affect your jigs quite a lot. So first of all, let's just do a regular old triplety scale in the key of D to work on this jig rhythm aspect, and then we can try it with the arpeggio inversions. Okay, let's give it a go. So with the scale, it's just like this. Okay, let's give that a try. Nice, we don't have to go fast. We can still get jig rhythm in medium tempo. So ready, go. We'll stop at the D, because it gets weird when you go all the way down to A to your ear, okay? You don't need anything getting in the way of the jig rhythm. Did that work out okay, that pattern for everybody? No hiccups or hitches or anything like that? It's all right? Let's do it again. And we're going to loop it. We're going to do it a few times. Same speed. Ready, go. There we go. Yeah, it is weird going all the way down there. We'll stop at the D. Let's do it again. Ready, go. Faster. Let's do it again, a little faster. Ready, go. Woo! Fun, eh? How's everybody feeling? Was it successful? Good. If it was successful, let's do it again right away. 1, 2, 3, go. Bows are looking good, guys, I gotta tell you, because the way that you do an accent is not by having a fast bow, or sorry, having a heavy bow, but having a fast bow. So if you watch me doing it, you'll see that the accented notes is the whole bow. That's how you get the volume. See that? Okay, looking good. I'm just meant to say that because everybody looks like they're doing that. Now, let's try it with the arpeggio inversions, okay? So first of all, let's just play, we'll loop it. So like that, okay, to start off with. Ready, go. How's that working, everybody? Is it working okay?
Dan, what note are you starting on the low A?
Yes.
Or,
Starting on the
okay.
low A and going all the way down to the low A too.
Okay, thanks.
Should have clarified. Let's do it again. Ready, go. Woohoo! How did it go? Did it go okay? Yeah? Awesome. Faster! Gonna be like this. 1, 2, 3, go! One more. Yeah, how's that going? Everybody get along okay? Relatively? That's good. So practice that, okay? Practice that whole pattern and getting that idea in your head, because we'll up the game with it. We'll do it in different keys and we'll get it faster so it actually starts. And this is hopefully going to come to all your jig playing, this nice rhythm that comes under your arm doing this, okay? Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns before we move on? Anything at all. I'm here to help. No? Awesome. Okay. So why don't we start with the spay and space? Okay. We'll work, that's kind of the most recent. So we'll work that up. We'll just kind of work on it like we usually do. We'll start slow and see if we can up the game as we go along. And then we're going to work on, what do you call it? Homeward Bound. And then it's all request lunch hour. So let's see here. Where is it? Spay and spate. Here it is. All right. Can't believe I'd forgotten this tune. My family used to play this tune all the time. It's a great old tune. Okay, so let's start slow. There's lots of string crossing and challenges in this tune. So let's start her off slow. I covered my tuner. Look at that. How dare I? Oh, I really covered. There it is. Okay. There's your low A. Okay, let's go nice and easy now. See if we can do this tune. 1, 2, 3. So looks good. Everybody looks cheerfully bowing away there. But all I have to do go by is looks, so it's hard to tell. Everybody doing okay with the spade and spade? One thing I'm watching for with everybody is the funky chicken, because there's a lot of string crossing in this tune. It's impossible to do with the elbow. Okay, I think we talked about that last time. That did a few exercises, right? The string crossing exercises. Now, but I didn't talk about the doorway. And I will just quickly talk about the doorway. So when I was a kid, my brother Sean had us playing in the doorway to control the right elbow. And if you find that your right elbow wanders, which is a very common problem for what I call adult learners, then this doorway thing is going to really help you. And if you're struggling with these string changings because of that, this is going to really help you. So here's a music stand. This will be my doorway. Okay. So I'm standing in the doorway, and this is the door jamb here. And so I sit with my fiddle like I'm playing. You know, my dad used to say, as if you were normal. And my elbow is right in front of that door frame. See that? Right ahead of it. So now, if I bow with my elbow, I get a bump. See that? And it really works. It just kind of makes your arm melt the proper way when you have that doorway there. It's like, so half the time it doesn't even have to touch, and down it goes properly, okay? So if you find you bow like this a lot, the doorway can really, really help you. In terms of string crossing, if I did this whole tune in the doorway, it would look like this. Now remember, I'm not reaching out to touch the doorway when I'm doing this. I'm sitting normally, with my elbow just in front of that door frame with a little space there, so that if I do start using the elbow to change strings, I get a rub. See that? And then I know that I'm using the elbow instead of the hand. So it can really, really help with that. So watch what it looks like when I'm playing this tune in the doorway. String crossing happened without any of this at all. And it's the same kind of effect I've noticed with people. A little bit of attention to that, and it just goes away. It's a really good way to do it. My brother had us doing it for years, okay? But he started early when we were like 7 or something like that. And I don't know how much of it was just torture, older brother torture, and how much was actually, that's why it's hard for me to tell you how long you got to do it for because of that. So, but I will tell you that it was good, and I've seen it work with a lot of people. So anyway, that's my little doorway lecture about string crossing. Any other problems with the spade and spade before we try it faster?
Dan?
Yes.
The one phrase that I'm having a little bit of trouble anticipating and remembering is the second phrase in the B part, where it comes down with the one on the B string, on the A string.
Yep.
Where is it? And yeah, the third line, I think.
Yep. No, I understand. So there, that little passage there, I don't know if this helps you, but that's basically an E minor arpeggio or a G arpeggio, B, G, E.
Right.
See that? I would think of it as E, because in the previous part of the measure, you're playing E, G, E, B, G, E. Do you see what I mean there? So those are all notes from the E minor arpeggio. See what I mean?
Right.
And that's the way I would think about that. Or E major. Oh, no. E minor. Yeah, E minor arpeggio. See that? So, and I don't know if you've practiced an E arpeggio, but it's a really good idea to do. It's good to do after practicing G major because they're related. Same shape of the right? So you do G major up and down in the arpeggio, then you try E minor and get to know that arpeggio. But that's all that is. So if I were you, I would just think to myself, evens and odds. 2 open, 1 3 1 back to the open. See what I mean? So even number fingers, odd number fingers, and then presumably if you kept going, it would be even number fingers again. But we don't. We go back up. Does that help you?
Yes, thank you. I'll practice that.
I found that it was quite long-winded, but I'm glad it helped. Anyway, so let's pick it up a little tiny bit. Oh, first of all, for Anne, let's go over that phrase. So let's start with the E. So we're going to play the first 2 bars of the 3rd line. Nice and slow. Okay? Ready, go. Okay, and that big arpeggio climbing up, that's just an A major arpeggio. That's all that is, starting on the C sharp. Yeah, that looks good, Ann. Very good. Let's do it again. Same thing. Start with the E. Ready, go. One more time to be sure. Ready, go. Okay, now let's start at the top and go a little bit faster. And I bet you when we come up on that line there, Ann, you're going to fly through it no problem. So let's do it kind of like this. 1, 2, 3. Nice clip. How did we do with the speed, everybody? Anybody have any problems? Well, isn't that nice? That's great. Now, what are the chances we could go one notch faster than that? All right. And when I say notch, I mean probably 5 notches on the metronome. You know, I was telling people for years that there's 2 ways that people speed up music, right? There's the bump it up gradually way, which is what my wife does. So when she's working on a piece for an orchestra or something like that, if she has to have the passage at 120 beats per minute by the weekend, then she has to make sure that she bumps it up accordingly every day until, you know, by the Thursday, it's up there, fully up there with no problems. And when she's doing it, she makes sure that the passage is perfect at 80, and then at 85, and then at 90 and 95, until it's all the way up there. And she's very exacting, like she won't bump it up until it's all bang on, right? And I used to tell people for years that she did it notch by notch on the metronome. And then she heard me say that once and she was like, no, I don't. And she says she does it either by 2s or by 4s. That's what she does. So she bumps it up by 2s or 4s. And that's apparently the usual for using the metronome. So just to keep that in mind, it might help. If some people are trying to bump it up a beat at a time, could take a long time, not necessary. So 2 or 4 is what she usually does. And then I was also going to say, oh yeah, the other way of speeding stuff up, it really depends on the person, is my way, which is slow, 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 try fast, see what goes wrong, right? And then go back to the slow, work out whatever went wrong, slow, 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 try fast, see what goes wrong. Hopefully at some point nothing goes wrong, or almost nothing. So, and it's a really good way. It depends on the person. See, some people are bumper uppers, other people do it like me. But anyway, just thought I'd mention that. So, everybody good at that tempo?
Dan, I have one question. The last bar on the first line, instead of the triplet, you do something. Do you play the triplet? I think you play something different. Da 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 da.
Oh, well, I do the triplet sometimes, but I mostly play it just like in the first bar.
Okay, thanks.
And tell you the truth, most people that I know play it like that as well. The triplet thing was kind of, I got reminded of it when I found this music. Okay. All right, let's go. Just to give you a heads up, it's going to be... Okay? Helmets on, guns up. A 1, 2, 3. Tell me what happened. I'm always interested to know what was the first thing that stopped you.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too fast for me.
Yeah, that was the point. But what happened?
I can't keep up. Plain old, I can't keep up. That's it. I don't even know if I can say what happened.
Is it reading or is it fingers?
I think it's the fingers getting to those far, like the G string kind of thing.
Okay, yeah. So some drop downs will help with that. And I don't know, I hope I explained drop downs. Repeatedly trying to grab a note like that C sharp, for instance. For sure. Is there a C sharp? No, there's no C sharp. No. And also getting to know the notes on the G string really helped too. Anything with an extra line is on the G string. You only have a few options. If there's 2 lines, it's A.
Yeah.
If there's 1 line and you can see the dot, that's the B.
Yeah. I just think it's that little bit of extra speed. I was fine at the previous speed, but this speed, how fast was that anyway?
I'll tell you. Good question. So it wasn't 110. So it was, yeah. That was 80 on the metronome. So I'll show you, just so that you believe me. See that? Okay, so that means that for you, practicing tempo is probably going to be 70 or 75. Okay, and I don't want you to try doing it fast until next time. Just slow, just at a, Louis Armstrong had a saying, you have to practice things at a tempo where you have a chance of doing it right. Okay, so make sure it's all there all week, play it at that tempo, and then we'll try it fast again next week. I guarantee it's going to get up there. Okay, who else had problems at that speed? How about you, Ann? Do you think you know what happened to you?
I mean, yeah, I just found it too fast. I couldn't really keep up. My bow got very sloppy. I find my bow pressure gets really light and sloppy at that speed, and my left hand can't keep up either. so I just I try and anticipate a bar that's coming that I know I can play, and then I play sort of 1 bar, and then I crap out for a few bars, and then I come back in.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a really, really good thing to do. They call that playing what you can play. And it's really good. It's how I learned all my Irish music at Dora Keogh, was like that. Playing the bits that come by. Luckily, the Irish guys play tunes 4 or 5 times each, so you have lots of chances, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
so that's good. I want to address what you were talking about with your bow. When you play faster, okay, you lighten up on the bow. You have no choice. Okay, and the faster you play with your bow, the faster you move the bow, the more downward weight it has on its own. Okay, it kind of bears down on its own. So you do have to reduce the weight that you're putting on the bow. Perhaps you're reducing it too much. Just remember that with the bow hold, the most important part of the bow hold is this here and this here up under the bow. See that? I could play like a dozen tunes just with that. See that? So if you have those engaged and you have the right kind of thing, it should grab the string and kind of stay there. All right. So a little tiny bit of a weight when you start off, and just trying to keep that weight on there, but as little as possible. Okay. And if it gets really, do you find when you say it gets sloppy, do you find it's kind of going like this on the fiddle?
Yeah.
Okay, so that has to do with your right elbow. Another thing that happens when people go fast is the right elbow and upper arm tend to seize up, get a little bit of tension on it, which means that you're now bowing like this instead of like this. And it's very difficult to go fast when you're bowing like this. It's really, really hard. The bow goes all over the place. And so that I would suggest the doorway for you, and lightening up on that grip. Okay, that's the 2 things that I want you to focus on this week, and we'll check back in on that next time.
Okay.
Okay, I'm glad you told me. How about you, Elizabeth? How did you get along at that tempo?
Not well. I'm forcing myself to play from memory because I'm just not gonna get it otherwise.
That's
And
good.
I can do the arpeggios, like anything with the that falls into the D arpeggio or the scales and thirds. But as soon as I get into those, the different chords,
Yeah.
I just don't, my fingers don't know the patterns very well yet. So
Oh, so remembering issues. So
yeah.
remember when you're practicing at home, it's really good to have the music glanceable, adjacent. Okay? Because it can bring you through those little bits and pieces. Or, and I can see the look on your face with that, you can work on those bits and pieces beforehand. And that's really very, very effective. So try the parts that you have trouble singing, and remember the old Irish expression, eh? If you can sing a tune, then you can already play it on your instrument, even if you haven't tried to yet. And I've really noticed that that is true. So if there's any bits of the tune that you cannot sing, that you cannot remember or put together, tackle those bits. Make sure you can sing them and that they're in your head solidly, and you will stop stopping at those points. Okay? Yeah. But that's great. I mean, that you're recognizing the arpeggios and stuff, that is so great. That's how you can really get ahead of the game with these tunes.
Yeah.
The important thing with that, though, is making sure you start the goddamn arpeggio on the right note. That's what always gets me. Always. Because I'm learning tunes at full speed. So I'm waiting, and then I do the thing, but I started on the wrong note. Anyway, how about you, Calida? You have any problems at that speed?
It was okay. Definitely the other speeds, like I could get it like through it like fully.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'd spend time going like when we go like all the way down, like from all the way up. I just spend time going down, and then I like I'm a bit behind.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Is it with your right arm that you spend all that time?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, very common thing. So doorway for you. Also, and I hope I told you guys about the silent string crossings and the up, down on the G, up in the A. So do that, Calida. See if you can kind of whip the bow over and then play your E. See if it's okay. See if it's nice. You know what I mean? And then whip her back over to the G and see if it still sounds nice like that. So see if you can kind of whip that bow around to a point where it doesn't really affect your sound. Okay? And that'll improve all your arpeggiatic tunes that you're doing, which I know you got a few there, so it'll help. How about you, Bev? Hey, any problems at that speed?
It was okay. I lost the notes for a little bit of it. I find I have to concentrate on relaxing rather than tensing up, both bow hand and left hand, and that really helps, I think, to get through.
That's basically, I always say this in the third hour of the dance, that's basically all I'm thinking about. And in fact, yesterday at the fesh, so I started at 8:30, and at about 2:00 in the afternoon, that's all I was thinking about was relax, breathe, let it come out. Because I have this thing where if I play tense, I get numbness and tingling in these three fingers or these three fingers. And I had it at bay for the longest time. For like 10 years, it didn't bother me. Or no, not 10, like more like 8. And some reason it started to bother me now. And I think it's psychological because of the big traumatic changes we went through this summer. But it's something I'm having to think about now, is to keep this arm totally relaxed. I noticed that I had been kind of tucking my elbow in while I was playing. Okay. And I thought maybe that was doing it. And then I went to kind of actively take my elbow out. But Jennifer reminded me that when you have tension things that you're doing while you play, you can't just do the opposite and hope it gets better, because you're just adding more tension. You have to figure out why. And a lot of time it's psychological. So now, like yesterday when I was playing that fesh, I was just trying to be mindful of the left arm. Is it tensed? Is it doing any kind of move at all while I'm playing? And it did, it worked. It kept my hand nice and free and not tingly for the entire day. So it's good to think about. It's mindful. I know you do yoga occasionally. And so just think about what the missus says on the yoga, you know, breathe into the arm, you know what I mean? And it really, I find it really works anyway. One more go, not so fast. So that was the breaking point, everybody. 80 beats a minute on the metronome, just to keep yourself in mind there. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll check back in with that tune next week. Everybody knows what they got to do to try to get it smoother so that we can go faster. All right. Now let's start the all request lunch hour because it's getting late. So let's start. We'll go youngest to oldest. How about that? Well, actually, we'll just start with the youngest. Go from there. Calada, what do you want to work on first? Now, take your time. Think about it for a second because I got to go stop Sylvia from watching TV. Okay, so I just got to go tell her to shut down the TV. I'll be right back. In the meantime, think of a tune. Sylvie, you got to stop watching TV now. And can you bring up Oreo? Sylvia? Can you? Okay, because my class wants to see Oreo. So you're shutting her down? Okay. All right. I'm assured that she's going to shut her down. Okay, what do you think, Calada? What are we going to play?
Okay, this is one that we did briefly, but I really liked it. Troy's Wedding.
Oh my God! Blast from the past. And I hope you brought an extra helmet because this is quite a tune. I'm going to send it to you now. That is such a great tune.
Jan, could you send it to me too, please?
I'm sending it to you, yes.
Thank you.
Anybody
There's
else?
that, the like syncopation, but it's not syncopation part. Yeah.
That's right. Syncopation, but it's not syncopation. Who needs me to send this to them besides Anne and Bev? Anyone else? No? Okay, great. I'll send it off right now. And oh geez, I got a lot of Anns on here. I got a sister that's Anne. Although she's Annie. Okay. Oh, what's your email address, Ann? It's not coming up right away here. I gotta put it in right.
D for dog, M for mother, A for Anne,
Got
F
it.
R. Okay.
Okay, and then Bev. Okay, there we go. I've just sent it off to you. And this is a terrific tune. Now, before we try, Ann has never even heard this tune before, I bet. Is that right, Ann?
Yeah, I don't think I have.
Okay, so I'm going to play it quick just so everybody remembers what it sounds like. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's a two-pager. Okay. That's hers. Is it ringing a bell for anybody there? Do you remember that? Blast from the past. It's not really, the rest of the tune is not that hard. The hardest part of it is that syncopation, and you'll see that that's not even that complicated either, okay? So let's go really slow because this is a blast from the past and must be brought back to life. Now I'm just gonna see if I got one on one page before we do that. PDF, that's what we need. Oh, that was the PDF. Maybe on here. No, okay. We'll go with this one. We'll go with the two-pager. I don't really like two-pagers, but we'll make it work. Okay. Very slow. No need to be in a hurry. Okay. Now I can see everybody and the music. Not that I need the music, but I don't like to confuse people playing my weird versions and improvisations. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, here we go, guys, slowly. Ready, go. Hold on now. Sylvie wants to show you this new addition to our.
Bring Oreo up.
Well, you did, as I did. I thought people might want to see. This is the new addition to our family. Her name is Oreo. She's
So cute.
in this house in August, and she's pretty cute, eh? Very fluffy, tiny little girl. She's a girl. I keep getting it wrong, but anyway.
We just gave her a bath.
Yeah, she had to have a bath today, so she's very fluffy.
Extra fluffy.
Anyway, that's Oreo. Say hi, Oreo. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Thanks, Ellie. Cuteness factor. Okay, let's try her again. Ready, go. Oh, whoops, I played the other version. Now, don't be alarmed by this, okay? It's just straight eighth notes. So let's go nice and slow and do them, okay? So this is the line after the big second ending there, middle of the page. Ready, go. to check in. What a tune. Highland Pipers are crazy. This is a Highland pipe tune, and that's why it's so syncopated, because Highland pipes only have 9 notes. So when they go to do variations on the melody, they only have rhythmic options available, really. So that's why it's usually the last part that's the most syncopated part of a Highland pipe tune, but in this case, it's the second last part. Anybody having any problems before we try doing it a tiny bit faster? When you're doing that crazy syncopated part, remember that the top note is always A. Right through the whole thing, it does not change. So if you look at my hand, see that? So my A stays there pretty well the whole time, except for when I have to play the E and the F. Otherwise, it just stays there. And it makes, even when I gotta, see that? That's the 5th. So I just rock between that two. It makes it much smoother. Okay? Any other questions before we speed it up? Or comments, or don't want us, or anything like that?
So a million years ago, I used to play bagpipes, and there was this tune called Clumsy Lover, and that has a similar bit in it.
That's a great tune. We should learn that tune. I play that tune. That's a really good tune, yeah. And it does. It's the last part, I think, that's syncopated.
Yeah, yeah.
So very similar idea. Well, we'll get on to that there, Elizabeth. Thanks for reminding me of that. That's a great tune. Cool. Okay, well, if there's no other comments or questions, then let's try going just the tiniest bit faster. Not much. Just a wee bit of a push. So kind of like, okay, let's see what happens. Whatever you do, just keep shooting at the Germans. Ready, 2, 3, go! that's great. What a great tune. And Calida, thank you very much for reminding us of that tune. It's awesome. And then it leads to another tune. We're going to do the Clumsy Lover soon. And you're going to love that. If you like this one, you're going to love that. So that's great. Thank you. Okay. Who has a tune ready that they want to play that's going to call it out right now without too much waiting around or hemming and hawing?
Big John McNeil.
Good. Right on, Elizabeth. It's okay, Calida. It's going to be okay. I was working on this tune with a guy from Chicago today who is trying to get better at the key of A. And I said to him, there's no better way to work on the key of A than Big John McNeil. So that's what we did for the whole lesson. So it happens that I have it ready right here. Big John. Here it is. Now, do you have that one, Ann? Do you need that one? Need me to
I
send you
need that one, if you don't mind sending it to me. Thanks.
Oh,
Dan.
it's so easy these days. All this technology. I remember my dad used to drive halfway across the island to get to borrow a book from another fiddle player to get a tune. I remember going with him these long treks to get a book, and I also remember being here in the city and having to call my friend Pat Simmons and get him to play the tune on the phone for me that I was trying to remember from the night before. But we don't have to go through that anymore. Okay, DAW, is it? I can't. You have to tell me again. It's not coming up.
DMA.
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 There you
Sorry.
are.
Hard to remember.
Off it goes. You should have it as soon as it gets back from the satellite. Okay. Here she is on my screen. Bigger than life. Big John McNeil. I'm gonna say that this is probably the most popular Canadian tune that there ever was. I heard a friend of mine from Manitoba said that he was at a dance in Manitoba once, and the entire dance was just Big John McNeil. It's the only tune they played for the whole dance. Okay. Let's do it. Let's start not too fast and then see what we can do about picking it up. Did you get that okay there, Ann?
I will have it in a minute. I'm having a little trouble with my email, so I'm forwarding it to my other email address.
Okay, yep, sounds good.
I got it.
Okay, good, because I can always just put it on the screen.
I think. Yes.
Okay. Let's start slow. There's no hurry, but I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this time to check in on my A major. So I'm going to put my tuner on, and I'll tell you how I did when we're done. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. do for you. You can hear that it's very arpeggiated, scaly tune, you know? So I don't think it'll take you long to get onto it. And I noticed that the person that sent me this music has handily written in where there's an arpeggio and where there's a scale. So that might help you too. Anybody else having any issues before we try to speed it up a little bit? All right, let's do it. So let's try kind of about that fast. Okay, I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, go. Did it go okay? Pretty good? Okay, so practice that. I want to speed it up next time. Give Anne a chance to learn it. Give everybody a chance to strengthen it, and then we'll speed it up. We'll try to get it to like 80 next time, see what happens, see what we can work on, okay? Now, who else? Let's see. How about you, Sue Leader? Do you have a tune you'd like to try?
Well, it's funny. I like that. What's the one Canada did? The Troy's wedding.
Troy's Wedding.
I'm glad she picked that one. And the other thing I also wanted to do was the Jig Rhythm, and you've done that, so I'm good.
You're good? Okay, good. Great on. How about you, Anne? Have you got a tune that you would like to play? Now, I know you're kind of new to the class, but you never know. We might already have learned it or something.
Well, I mean, I've been practicing Homeward Bound because I just learned it last week, so I'd be happy to do that.
Let's do that. Let's practice Homeward Bound. Great idea. Forgot about it there for a second.
Dropping things. Wow, wow.
Here it is. Love this little tune. I played it yesterday. It's Andy's thing. Because he used to play it. He played it almost every time I played with him. He played Homeward Bound. He used to do it right after it was weird because we had all this music in common, like tunes that we knew mutually, but he would have different settings and put them in different sets. And I would always have to play his settings and his sets. Anyway, and this is the case with this tune. Okay, let's go not too fast. 1, 2, 3. How's everybody feeling about Homeward Bound? Is it okay? Awesome. Okay, Bev, you're last. What do you want to try?
Drunken landlady.
Drunken landlady. For some reason I knew you were going to say that.
All those, and the maid behind the bar, and what was the other one? It was
Oh
all the
yeah,
drunk-
that's right.
all the drunken women.
The drunken landlady, the maid behind the bar, and then the what was the last one?
Bridesmaid.
The wise maid, because she was the landlady, but she got into the bottles a little bit too much there in the bar, and then she ended up just working at the bar because she lost the bar, so and then she got sober and wised up, right?
I'm going to check out before we get on that set. Nothing's connecting anymore for me.
Oh, okay.
My fingers and brain are not connecting anymore.
No problem. No problem. We'll see you next time, Sue.
All right, we'll see you.
Okay. The drunken landlady. Let's do it.
Dan, can you send it to me? Can I give you a different email address?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Anne, ANNE,
Yeah.
at runningmagazine.ca.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Now I just got to get the drunken landlady and send it to you. Drunken. There we go. Okay, you got it there, Ann. You should have it in a moment. And let's give it a try. So we only got a few minutes, but we're going to try our best here to get it in. Because I got a person after this at 8:45, Rick, who's desperately trying to get, there's 3 tunes, he's desperately trying to get up to speed. And he's at about 95, so he's doing really good. Okay, Drunken Landlady. So we'll go a little bit slow to start off with, like this. 1, 2, 3. We do there, ladies. Did it have a drunken feel to it? That's all right. We'll work on that next time. So remember these tunes we worked on tonight, guys, because we'll revisit them. Okay. And especially for Anne here, a few of them were brand new to her. So, so keep working on them this week. We'll revisit them next week. We'll go through them all again next week. Okay. Great class tonight. Really, really good workout. Thanks a million.
Thanks,
Thanks, Dan.
Dan.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Thanks, Dan.
See you next week.
Bye.